Hello, hello, hello. If you've been here before, welcome back. Or if you've just stopped by on the off chance, welcome to my channel. My name is Angel, and today we're going to be doing a VR to Courtney at Erie's Witchcraft. The hashtag is Beauty and the Beast Tarot. Yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so the first prompt is show me your bell deck. A deck that's beautiful on the inside and on the outside. And the deck I chose for that was a deck that I've just started working with in December. This is the Dream Vision Tarot, the second edition. This is a Kickstarter, that I backed. This is the gilding. It's a beautiful cobalt blue. I've got a bit of a cosmic deck vibe or theme going on this December. Hence the reason I've just literally started working with this deck. Now, if you've seen my walkthrough of this deck, you'll know that when the first edition came out, I was not familiar with Kickstarter. So I saw this deck on TarotTube and went onto Etsy to, try and order this deck. And it was just so expensive with the taxes and the shipping, which I couldn't justify spending on a deck. However, when the second edition, the Kickstarter campaign came out, I just had to jump at it. So I did that and I received the deck not so long ago. And I've literally, as mentioned, just started working with it. And the readings I have gotten from this deck have been absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So it's not only the artwork, which is absolutely gorgeous, but the readings have literally blown me away. I've got no words to describe this deck. Clearly my cat has, because, he's got a lot to say. Apologies as normal for my kitty cat. He's being a cheeky monkey. Yeah. I think this is going to be a solid favourite in my collection. I totally feel that these beings are, what can I say? I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's like they're higher beings or ancestors from the cosmic realm. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. But as I said, I'm just blown away by the readings. I haven't worked close or long enough with it as yet to really put my finger on it. But yeah, as I mentioned, I think this is going to be a totally firm favourite in my collection. So yeah, this is the Dream Vision Tarot, edition number 2. Okay, the next prompt is show me your tarot library, all the decks on your shelves. Now I'm going to pop in 2 pictures right now. This is a picture of my tarot card, which I have beside me. This has got on the top layer, on the top shelf, it's got all of my cosmic decks for December. On the middle shelf, I've got all of my staples. So my decks are always here beside me. My deity decks, my ancestral decks, and decks I use for specific practices. And then on the bottom shelf, I've pretty much got I'd say my like everyday decks almost. So yeah, that's that picture. The second picture that you're seeing now, that is my tarot desk almost. So that's my storage for my other tarot decks that are not in rotation just at the moment. Below that is 2 drawers and they have my oracle decks in it. So that's prompt number 2. Prompt number 3, more than this provincial life, a deck that inspires a dream life that I'd like to live in, fantasy, or realistic. Now, for this prompt, I chose the Dark Goddess Tarot, not particularly because I'd really like to live there. However, I do think it would be really interesting to visit and, go and meet all these goddesses, and get their advice and, possibly words of wisdom, some sacred or secret knowledge. I mean, who wouldn't want to be able to tap into that kind of energy? I know I definitely would. This is the mass market version, if I haven't mentioned that before. I really appreciate this deck. I don't find it very intuitive personally, and I always use the guidebook. Excuse me. I always use the guidebook, which is quite hefty. It's quite possibly almost an A4 size, I would say. It's got some absolutely amazing descriptions. It goes through the goddesses' stories in there, or folklore or mythology, or whatever word you want to use to describe that. So this is the, yeah, I'd love to be able to jump into these cards and speak to the goddesses, and like a sponge, what's the word, suck up as much information and wisdom as possible. Yeah, I think that'd be great. I really enjoy this deck. I've used it a lot. It's gilded in gold. Who doesn't like a bit of gold? I know I do. And these are the decks. So yeah, we're moving on to the next prompt, and the next prompt excuse me, the next prompt is your Gaston deck, the deck that everyone flocked to but you didn't want it, or a deck you gave away, and why. Now I've chosen a deck that everybody flocked to, and I also purchased the deck. And that's going to be the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Kranz. This is the mass market version. Still in order. I've mentioned before, when my decks are not in rotation, they go back into order. Now, I'm going to say that. However, I'm also going to say that I have never worked with this deck. And I was just really curious about the deck, to be honest. I really wanted to see what, the hoo-ha was about it, and why people thought it was so fantastic. And as yet, I haven't been drawn or called to work with it. However, I believe it was actually yesterday, which is why this deck was fresh in my mind. Yesterday I watched a video on YouTube. I'm going to put the name on the screen somewhere, whose channel it was that I saw it on. And they had a version of this deck they were given by a friend who had actually coloured in the cards and all the borders, and they looked absolutely amazing. So I'm kind of thinking about doing a very similar thing, but we'll see. Watch this space. So yeah, that is the Wildwood Tarot. Okay, my Beast deck, a deck you didn't like at first, but then ended up falling in love with. Yeah, that's got to be this one. Okay, this is the Klimt Tarot, and I've mentioned this one before, I feel, in a video, possibly my Cosmic Decks video, I can't remember. This is also a deck that I'm using right at the moment. This gives me a real cosmic vibe and a real Christmassy vibe. Now, I bought this quite early on in my journey, my tarot journey, because I love the artist. I love the artwork. And I got out of the box and I was really, really excited, looking at it thinking, yoo-hoo, excellent, I love this, it's going to totally work for me. And I couldn't get anything from it. It was, it just was totally flat. And I was really disappointed, and I thought, well, I'll pop it back on my tarot shelf, and, I'll let it sit there for a wee while and marinate, and, yeah, bring it out another time. And then, or a few months after that, I was sorting through my tarot shelf, and I thought, oh, I haven't used that deck. I'm gonna pull it back out and, look through it again, decide if I need to rehome it, or if I'm gonna, sell it or move it along. And I opened the box up and got the cards out, and they sung their messages to me, because obviously I had, moved past my beginner journey. I was kind of, had learnt quite a bit more, and suddenly it was like a switch had been flicked, and these just spoke to me. So I was so happy that I hadn't just rushed into rehoming or reselling this deck, because it's beautiful, it's amazing. Sorry, nudity. Whoopsie. I love it, and I love this. I don't know if you can see here. Let's have a look here. It's got like gold foiling on. I mean, who doesn't love gold foiling? It's just amazing. So yeah, so this is a deck that I'm using in December. Gives me a total cosmic vibe, I love it. I love it. Yeah. So that is the Klimt Tarot. Okay, we're moving right along to the next prompt. The next prompt is the Castle deck. The deck that took a while to connect with, but when you did, it became familiar and supportive. Sorry, it became familiar and supportive. Like home. And for that prompt, I'm going to choose, or I have chosen, this deck. This is the vintage Tarot Vintage. Sorry, this one's called. I've edged mine in like a brown colour. Now, one of my first tarot decks, I think it was my second actually. My first tarot deck ever was the Ethereal Visions Tarot, which I didn't get along with. That's been rehomed a long, long time ago. And then I bought the Rider-Waite-Smith, or possibly at the same time I bought those two together. And I looked through the Rider-Waite-Smith with, you know, the original with the bright colours. And I looked at those cards and I thought, I'm never going to be able to learn all these cards. It was like a foreign language to me. And that deck has basically been a study deck for me. And then I bought this one, well, only a few months ago actually. And I started using this and I love it. I so love it. And this is what made me fall in love with the Rider-Waite-Smith. I love the muted colours. I think it's, yeah, I just really enjoy it. So yeah. So, you know, at the beginning it was, you know, a bit not so sure about this. But then once I purchased this version, I was like, yes, I get it. I get why people love the Rider-Waite-Smith. So there we go. Can you hear my kitty cat? They've been quiet all this time, and the second that I press record, that's when they want to start talking and chatting. Okay, we're moving right along with the next prompt. And the next prompt is the chip deck. The childish or innocent deck, but that gives wise advice. And that is going to be this, which is actually an oracle deck, Wings of Wisdom by Lana Fairchild. These are the cards. They're quite long, obviously, and the artwork is quite not childish, but maybe it is a bit childish. Anywho, this oracle deck I use for my inner child work, hence the reason it's got this kind of, I don't want to say childish, innocent feel to it. I'm going to say innocent, and it's got obviously animals in it and these characters as well. So you've got the name of the animal, then you've got 3 keywords, and you've got an affirmation, and then on the back you've got the message, and you've even got a message in the actual guidebook. So there is quite a lot of information with these cards. So yeah, I really enjoy these. I really enjoy the colours. I love this whole, you know, childlike or no, what's it called? It reminds me of like books that I had when I was a child, the kind of illustrations that you could see in like a child's book. I mean, look at this. This is beautiful. Yeah. So, you know, this is definitely my innocent or childlike deck, or childish deck, I'm going to say. But I don't mean that in a derogatory kind of way. I mean it only as a compliment. Yeah. So that's that one. I think that's my only oracle actually. Okay, we're moving along. We've got 2 prompts left. The next prompt is your Maurice deck. Fatherly deck that helps you reinvent thoughts and perspectives. Now, let me look here where my deck is that I've chosen for this one. I don't particularly have many decks in my collection with a masculine energy. I've possibly only got 2. One of them I haven't made up my mind about yet. This is the other one, and this is a definite masculine feel. I wouldn't say that this has a fatherly feel about it. I would not say that. And I do have a bit of an issue which I'm working through of the fatherly archetype. I'm going to leave it at that. So for me, fatherly kind of, you know, what can I say? Kind of puts my back up a little bit. Anyway, so this deck I've chosen because it's got a very masculine energy for me. It's very, I'm not going to say it's hard or anything like that, but it's quite clear cut. Yeah, I would definitely say it's a clear cut deck. This gives me a total January vibe, like a winter icy vibe, I would say. So I say that, and then suddenly we get all these reds in the cards. This is the mass market version. Really, really enjoy it. It's not cold and it's not hard, you know, but it's quite, I find this deck quite direct, but not in a bad way. Oh, wait, I'm not explaining this very well. I'm not really sure how to elaborate. If I come upon a really good explanation, I'm going to write it on the screen. You know the drill. You know the drill. Looky here, the tower. I do love me a good tower card. I love this deck. I think it's amazing. And I really do enjoy having, you know, different decks in my collection with, I'm going to say, different voices. Sorry, warning for nudity again. I have to put it on the screen in advance. Apologies. So, yep, this is definitely a January deck for me. Did I mention it's got beautiful silver gilding? Did I show you the backs? I think I did. Okay, we've got one more deck left, and that deck, or that prompt, should I say, is Happy Ever After, love-themed or romantic deck. And I think the only, like, romantic, because I'm not particularly a big romance kind of person, you know, that kind of gets my back up as well, actually. I'm working through a lot of issues, people, okay? I never said anything else. Okay, this is the Modern Love Tarot. This is an indie deck by Ethany, I want to say. Beautiful gold gilding. I got this quite early on in my journey. Excuse me. Love the art style. Whoopsie. Yeah, so I really, really enjoy this deck. Beautiful lovers card. Yeah, I so appreciate that lovers card, and that's even the card that's actually on the box. Oi, sorry, I nudged the camera. Sorry, apologies about that. I'm going to speak up the guidebook as well in a second, because the guidebook is fantastic, in my humble opinion. I love this kind of perspective on the Eight of Wands. You know, this, you know, you're the person that's holding their hand and they're, you know, moving forward, you know, and that movement. I love that. I think it's yeah, I really enjoy that take on the card. I love the Queen of Wands. I think she's, you know, I want to use the word badass. Can I use that with my British accent? I don't know. Don't know if it works, but I've said it. Too late now. Done and dusted. So yeah, love this Devil card. Gorgeous. I love this Four of Swords. I mean, you know, I just really enjoy this deck. And, you know, of course I do. It's in my collection. Why wouldn't I? So yeah, that is my Happy Ever After deck. Just as a quick word on the guidebook, you know, I'd mentioned that I'm not a big, you know, romance fan, all that malarkey, and I don't read for anybody else. I only read for myself. But this guidebook is fantastic. Every single card, I'm going to show you, for instance, this one, the World. It gives you a general love meaning, a single and loving it meaning, obviously if you are single, ready for love or dating, committed relationship, struggling relationship, and even the end. And that's for every single card, which I think is really great. So, you know, you choose what is relevant to you in the guidebook. I love this guidebook. I think it's fantastic. I really enjoy this deck. Love the colours, love the takes on the cards. So, yeah. And I love this perspective again. This, you know, you're sitting behind this person in the boat. I love it. Love, love, love it. So, I think we're done. They were my answers for this this hashtag. I'm going to link the original video, so take a look in the comments if you'd like to. What say you about these decks? What do you think? Do you have any of these decks? What do you pair with these decks? I'd really like to know that. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Take care. See you next time. Toodaloo!